Will Wendy be chosen to be on Survivor? Yes. But I think it might take her more than one audition to get chosen, because that's how it goes.
Yes, Wendy will definitely be chosen to be on Survivor.
And she will be one of the oldest players ever at 70 years old.
Magic 8 Ball says, maybe. What challenge would Wendy be best at? I think that Wendy will be best at that challenge where you have to put the balls in, they spin around, then you have to put another one in, you have to put another one in, they go around and around and around, and you keep putting them back in. It's always towards the end.
I think Wendy would be the best at a challenge that involves a little bit of hand-eye coordination and then a puzzle, kind of like what we saw at the last immunity challenge of Survivor 47.
A puzzle. I think because of her intense boot camp training, she'll be really good at the puzzles and win those challenges.
I think she would be best at the challenge where you have to stand on the little ledges with your feet, because I think it takes a strong core and a lot of focus, and I think she could do that, and she has a high pain tolerance. What challenge would Wendy be the worst at? I think she's really tough, but I think the hardest challenge might be if they do the one where you're in the water and you have to hold your head above the grate, because that's really, I don't know, she might drown. She won't drown, but she might tap out.
One where Wendy would have to stand on something or like hang for super long.
I'm a little worried about Wendy and some of the diving, jumping off of long platforms into the water, generally water-related challenges. A little bit worried about that.
Nothing. What past contestant will Mom be seen as similar to? I think you'll be seen as similar to maybe like a Tina from season 2. I can't remember her game exactly, but I feel like she was kind of underestimated and played a really good game, so maybe you'll be seen similar to her.
Is the most similar to Tina because she was really tough and she won, so.
I think Wendy would be the most like Sue. Not just because of her age, but I feel like Wendy is a loyal person, and I feel like she would share that with Sue.
Now, it's tempting to say that this season's winner, Rachel, or maybe Sandra, the famous 2-time winner, such a good listener. But I'm going to go with Parvati for the controversial reason that Wendy is also a hot little number. What will be the hardest thing for Wendy as a Survivor contestant? That's easy. The bugs, the scratchy, itchy skin.
Will be the no sleep, because that is really hard and she might get cranky at people.
Food, as she struggles with the food on hiking.
Being away from her family and friends, I think.
If Wendy gets to read letters from home, will she cry? Of course she'll cry.
She would cry.
Yes.
And when else will she cry? Several other times. In the confessional, it's a lot harder than it is on TV. There'll be a couple of other crying moments.
When else would she cry? She would cry probably after, maybe in the first few days, if she had a rough go of it, and then she would cry when she was eliminated or win.
You will also cry when you win an individual immunity challenge. Happy tears.
I think she might cry if other people cry, because she's an empath. She also might cry at the end of a really hard challenge after giving it her all. Will Wendy make fire? I think she'll definitely make fire in camp. Will she have to make fire? Maybe.
I think Wendy will give fire a shot, and she'll be interested in making fire.
I don't know. I think maybe she will because she'll be seen as a threat, so they won't want to take you to the very end.
Challenging question to answer, because do you mean will she be one of the two contestants chosen to make fire? Will she make fire another time, just casually, socially at camp? I'm going to say yes. We're going to train her up to make fire beforehand, and also to kind of demonstrate in a non-stressful situation that she is good at making fire, like just around camp, so she gets a reputation as she's good at making fire, so she won't be chosen for the high pressure situation of making fire in those final two contestants who have to compete against each other. It's a very important part of our overall global strategy, which I'm developing a PowerPoint on.
If she makes the cast, will she get veneers? No.
I do not think Wendy will make veneers or get veneers before she goes on the show. She has a beautiful smile.
Over my dead body.
Will Wendy win an immunity challenge? Yes, definitely.
I'm going to be optimistic here and say yes. I think Wendy will win an immunity challenge. That could include a immunity or oh my gosh, I forgot. She will either win an immunity challenge or a reward challenge. I'll say it that way. That would include team challenges.
Definitely at least a tribe immunity challenge, if not an individual immunity challenge.
I believe she will win an immunity challenge, or if she does not make the merge, I believe she will make a valuable contribution to a tribal immunity challenge.
Will Wendy find an idol? Yes, Wendy will find an idol, and she's gonna keep it a secret, as promised.
Depends if she looks for one. If she looks for one, then yes. But I don't know. She might need to lower her threat level. I think someone else would definitely tell her that they had an idol. So, does that count?
Yes, I feel certain she'll find an idol.
I think Wendy may find an idol hidden at camp. I think the old school Survivor challenge that Wendy would like to bring back is the eating of the bugs and the guts. And that's one she might win.
Eating nasty things, number one. And number two would be the memory challenge, where you have to remember things about other Survivor contestants. Those are two good old challenges that they don't use anymore.
I think Wendy would like to bring back maybe like the original auction, and the original way that they did it, and eating the crazy things.
Original version of the auction where it was like less fun and more bugs. I don't know though.
How do you think Wendy will act during tribal council? I think Wendy will be trying to be just a very active listener, and I think she'll have some funny facial expressions when people say crazy things.
I think she'll be a little nervous and maybe a little giggly when she's answering questions from Jeff out of nervousness.
I think she'll keep a pretty good poker face, but I could see her making some faces, but probably pretty strategic, maybe a little secretive.
I think during tribal council, Wendy would be a quiet observer, but I could also see her having a tell and giving up too much, which to lead to this, Wendy will get blindsided before reaching the final six in a tragic moment.
Will Wendy make the jury?
she will definitely make the jury.
And on whether her tribe ends up losing a lot of the immunity challenges, which could put her at risk, but I feel like she has a strong case to make the jury.
100%. And if she isn't winning, she would be on the jury and she would be a great jury member. Will Wendy win Survivor? I would vote for her to win. Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Who knows? There's so much luck involved at the end, so can't make a prediction. But we'll be rooting for her.
I do not think Wendy will win Survivor on her first try, but I think the people will love her so much that she will come back for a second time, and on her second try, she will at the very least get to the final 3 and maybe win.
What advice would you give Wendy when she goes on Survivor? My advice would be always keep your idol a secret. Don't tell anyone. Even if you need to tell them about your plan, make up something and don't tell them about your idol, because it almost always doesn't work. So keep it a secret.
Go hard, Mom. Be yourself. Don't tell anyone that you have an idol, and trust in your ability to make good relationships.
If Wendy were to go on Survivor, I would tell her to build relationships with those she sees value in and try her very best and not give up.
Have fun.
Good luck.